Tales of the Other Side may contain explicit language, violence, body horror, and other gruesome descriptions. Listener discretion is advised. Hey everyone, welcome back to Tales of the Other Side, an actual play Call of Cthulhu podcast about three strangers in the late 1920s who find themselves bound by cosmic fate to face waking nightmares unlike anything they could have imagined. My name is Matthew, and I no longer have to look at the script for that intro. I'm so proud of myself. I've got a fun, nerdy fact for you today. A little dive into my psyche. If I'm gonna steal Noah's phrase, let's go into the Matthew zone. The top and main three things that I listen to while writing sessions are the 2024 Nosferatu soundtrack, the 2024 Alien Romulus soundtrack, and the song on YouTube, 2 hours of dark mystery horror music, Beyond Arkham, H.P. Lovecraft, from the YouTube channel Cthulhu Mythos Music. So shout out to that YouTube channel and those two soundtracks for keeping my motivation and my creativity up while I write.
Well, hey everybody, I'm Nathan, and I play Jonah Thorogood, an investigative journalist. Fun fact about him is that the journal that he takes all of his notes in, he actually got from Audrey on one of his birthdays. She gave it to him as a gift. And
That's really cute.
The front of his notebook, it says, "The Personal Journal of Jonah Thorogood." Let's see, she wrote it out in all her text.
Aww.
And we thought they were going to be a will they, won't they. They were always meant to be.
Well, good friends can do nice things for one another. They don't have to be together.
No, men and women are not allowed to platonic relationships. Don't you know that? Don't you know that, Nathan? Come on.
What are you talking about?
What a crazy concept.
It's unfortunate there's men out there that think that it can't actually happen.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nick, and I'm playing Archibald Bauer, a professor of anthropology from Boston. Today, I'm going to be given a little bit of insight into how me and Bethany first met. This happened way back when we were kids, and we were playing together on the neighborhood playground, and Archibald fell off the swing and skinned his knee, and Bethany was there to help clean him up and give him a Band-Aid. And he fell in love with her after that.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Aww,
That's
awesome.
so cute.
and they were 33 years old.
This happened yesterday.
It was an adult playground.
He was at Sky Zone.
They were at Dave & Buster's, and he fell off the VR experience.
Yeah, we are Dave & Buster's, and they said, "You're not old enough to come in here by yourself."
So then they called their mom, who drove an hour to come let them in.
Shout out my mom.
Shout out Noah's mom.
Hey everybody, I'm Noah. I play Adam Whitlock, husband, archaeologist, thief, going out of his mind. And my fun fact this week is on Adam's farm, he has about a dozen Highland cows, and he used to have a horse, which was Virgil's favorite, but sadly it passed away a few years ago, and they haven't gotten one since.
And that's where you learned to ride the horse?
That's where I learned how to ride a horse.
That's really cool.
And this is episode 8. He's a demon, he's a devil, he's a doll. Part 2.
The wind seems to have died down a bit on your walk to the old lumber mill, though the snow hasn't stopped coming down in blinding sheets. Jonah leads you through the woods into the decrepit lumber mill. Its wheel that once powered the saws is now stuck in thick, frozen-over mud. Almost all the shingles are decayed or missing, and the wood siding is rotten and spongy. Before entering, you can tell that a part of the mill has collapsed, leaving only the 2-story main area accessible. The wind whistles between the rotted planks of the mill, a sort of haunting siren song, beckoning you to come see what's inside. As you take a few steps closer to the mill, Archibald, your foot hits something abnormally solid beneath the snow, almost causing you to stumble.
What the heck? I reached down to investigate it.
You reach down and dive your hand into thick snow, trying to sift through it and figure out what has caused you to almost fall. And what you're immediately met with is a dead body. half buried in the snow. You can tell that it has no clothing on, no jewelry, nothing that seems to identify it. And unfortunately for you, you have uncovered its face first. But there is no face on it. It's been completely carved off.
They just like flayed his face off, basically.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Can I like try to like move some of the other snow out of the way to see the rest of the body?
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you give me a quick sanity roll to see this?
Yeah.
So it's like
I think that's
Silence of the
justified.
Lambs, like cut off the face.
Yeah.
Adam and Jonah, you guys both also see this. If you would both give me sanity rolls as well, please. And Jonah, you are right on the cusp of underlying insanity, so if you fail this, you will go into another fit.
I failed it by 1 sanity point.
Well, I passed.
I got a 5.
Jonah and Adam, you guys are as okay can be seeing a human's face that has been cut from their body.
This is nothing from what we just came from.
Yeah. For you, Archibald, this is a jarring sight. Can you give me a D4 of sanity loss? And as you go to uncover more of the body, you reveal that this is the body of a man, and you see that there is another arm laying on top of it, giving you a hint that there may be more than one body here.
And we're close to the lumber mill?
You're just about 3 yards away from the lumber mill.
Clarification, this is the old lumber mill?
This is the old lumber mill, yes, on the
Yeah.
far southwest part of town, pretty much
Gotcha.
away from everything.
Do these bodies look like decayed at all? Like they've been here a long time? Or
I was
They do
gonna
not.
ask that too.
They actually look pretty fresh.
fresh dead bodies?
Adam just slips the brass knuckles on.
Does there appear to be any, like, wound on them that caused them to die, or is it just like their faces?
Why don't you give me a spot hidden?
I want to see if they have the marks on them.
Okay, yeah.
Good thing to look for. I failed about as bad as you could fail. I got a 97.
Okay. You do not find any marks of injury, and Archibald, you do not see the mark of the offspring on this person's arm.
Can I just do a quick 360 sweep to make sure nothing is has followed us, is watching us?
If you're looking for people, why don't you roll me spot hidden? If you're looking to see if you find any tracks or marks of people being there, let's do natural world, just to kind of spice things up a little bit.
Okay, well, so then this first one is going to be my spot hidden, which I got a 52. My spot hidden is a 64, so I passed.
You do not see any silhouettes of people near you in the distance or anything of that sort. It does not appear as if there's anybody within this general area of you. Jonah, you know that nobody really comes out this way. There might be some, teenagers coming around messing with stuff, but it's kind of generally said that this area is haunted. And with as superstitious as people seem to be around this town, they kind of try to stay clear as much as possible. So it would be quite a surprise to see anybody out here.
Just so I'm looking at the map correctly, the farmhouse and the lumber mill, I'm assuming, are adjacent to one another. They're not really a distance apart. They're really
yeah, they're pretty close to each other.
Okay.
Okay, this is my natural world. Got a 45, and my natural world is 25, so I failed.
Archibald, while you're down looking at the body and uncovering it, why don't you give me a medicine check?
My medicine is a 1.
Oh,
That's okay. Oh, I fail.
okay.
But usually my first rolls are insanely good.
I
so
know, that's kind of crazy.
There was a chance there.
So, Archibald, you have now, as you were searching around this body, you have uncovered another hand belonging to another person who is still buried in the snow.
So that's the third body now.
There are 3 bodies in the snow. 2 of them have not been fully uncovered. You just see their hands kind of near this man's body that you'd first uncovered. The man's in the middle, and then there's one to the left, one to the right of him.
I'll start uncovering the left one.
I'll start on the right one while he's doing the left one.
You guys both almost simultaneously uncover 2 bodies of 2 women. Just like the man, they are wearing no clothes, have no jewelry, no identifying marks, and their faces have been removed.
Can I check for not the marks that show that we've been touched by the one beyond, but any of the carvings we saw in the Preston Manor?
We'll do a spot hidden for that one as well.
I literally got a 1. I got a 1.
As
Okay.
you're searching this woman for marks, you start to investigate further into her face, and you see that right on the bridge of her nose there is that 10-pointed star symbol that you saw carved onto the floor of the Preston Manor. It does not have the symbol of the osprey in the middle, but it is the 10-pointed star. And it's pretty big. It kind of just like starts off at the bridge of the nose and kind of like ends like where like the nostrils would be and around the eyes. So it's not like it's very subtle.
Gentlemen, do you see these markings? And I'll, kind of gesture towards the markings. They look like what we saw in the Preston Manor, on the floor.
Oh, yeah, I suppose they kind of do.
There's no offspring marking in the middle, but could Henry have done this?
When you say Henry, Adam kind of like jolts a little bit. Yo, I'm getting a bad feeling about this place. I mean, okay, regardless of these markings, look, we got 3, maybe more dead bodies here, dismembered in all kinds of ways. We either need to figure out who's done this specifically or go talk to Howard, I think. Although I don't know if we can trust him either.
This is definitely unsettling, but in some ways, maybe we're closer now to an answer.
Rewinding a little bit, when Archibald bumped into the bodies, was the snow like disturbed, like somebody had moved the snow to bury these people in the snow, or had they just been killed and snow has fallen on top of them?
It looks like it has snowed on top of them to completely cover the bodies.
And when we woke up in the inn, it was already snowing?
Correct. And the work at the post office told Adam that it had been snowing for 4 days already.
Shit, okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wrap my head around what this symbol could potentially mean. The only place we've seen it is on the floor and on this woman's face. I'm trying to find a correlation, maybe. I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I do not believe that there's much else we can do with these people. Why don't we head inside the lumber mill, get out of this cold for a minute?
I'm honestly shocked that there's anything out here. I mean, this is clearly disturbing, but this end of town, most people don't come over here. The occasional teenager having fun, but not. We just need to be careful. If these people are out here, we don't know what we're dealing with.
So you guys head into the lumber mill through the open entryway, as the door is just completely missing at this point. You walk in, it is dark, it's musty, snow-covered cobwebs hang all over the place. You see that this first story of the lumber mill is mainly just a ground floor with large rusted saws, rotted wooden wheels, and decayed rope. You see that in front of you, down the walkway, is a small room with a sign above it that is almost completely illegible, but it looks like it was once painted and said something like office. The window that is on the door is shattered, and not a single piece of glass is remaining in its frame. You hear the wind whistling between the broken planks, once again adding to that siren song feel that you get when you hear the wind blowing into the mill.
Adam is like just so on edge, and as soon as we like step into this place, he's just gonna like hold his hand out for everybody to stop. I just want to like stand there and listen for any sort of like odd sounds, shuffling movement, anything that could just reassure him that they are the only ones in there.
Awesome. Why don't you give me a listen check?
Okay, please. Please. I don't even know what my listen is. I think I just rolled so bad. 92. Yeah, I fail.
You hear nothing more than the whistling of the wind between planks, the sound of rotted rope hitting itself or hitting the walls, and the occasional creaking of an old building.
I'll enter the room.
Jonah's going to go towards the office. Archibald, Adam, what are you two doing?
I think I'm gonna just follow behind him.
Yeah, I think Archibald also goes towards the room, but he also he looks at Adam because he sees that he's definitely visibly concerned. Are you doing all right? If this is too much, you can stay here while us two go investigate.
Archibald, this is too much an hour ago. All right, you know what? I think I need to just sit down for a second. I'll leave looking around to you two, and I'll just take a seat anywhere I can and just try to clear my head.
So as Adam sits down on a frozen log that sits next to a rusted saw, Archibald and Jonah, you two walk down this sort of aisleway towards the office door.
While I am by myself sitting there, I want to take out my good luck charm and kind of mess with it and see if I can't remember anything more.
Adam, as they're walking down this walkway, why don't you give me a power roll to try and reach back into your mind and see this memory? Archibald and Jonah, you two get to the door and it is unlocked, but you can see that there's like snow piles that have drifted behind it. It doesn't look impossible to open, but it definitely looks like it's going to take the effort from both of you to get it open.
Oh, this door is pretty hard to open. You want to try to force it?
Let's give it a go.
Well, one of you give me a strength check, and you'll have advantage since you guys are working together.
Dude, why am I rolling like Nick today? I rolled a 6.
Damn.
So you guys easily push open this door and get it over the snowbank, and you hear the door kind of crack and the bottom of it splinter a little bit, and it seems almost wedged up on the snowbank now. It's not going anywhere. It's almost like you put a door stopper underneath it. And as the two of you are basking in the glory of your strength, we, like a cool movie, cut back over to Adam, who is looking at his good luck charm.
I rolled a 38, which is a pass.
Adam, as you are feeling your mind reach back into your younger days of drowning, the last thing that you remember recovering is this memory of something dark in the water moving towards you. And all of a sudden, you feel this horrible, sharp pain in your stomach as something pierces into you and rips open your flesh. Your blood starts to pour out into the water. And as you look down, you see 2 long, lanky arms with 8 taloned fingers on them. And you recognize it as the same hands that had been sprouting out of Loretta Preston.
Oh, shit.
Archibald and Jonah, you guys entered this office, and it seems pretty ransacked. There's an old table, like a desk, and it seems pretty much worse for wear. It is eaten by little rodents and decayed and molded. It looks like it's been pretty messed up for quite some time. It appears that the handles of the drawers on the desk are rusted but still secure, and you see that there are some planks in the roof that are open to reveal that there is a second floor above you.
Then this like desk is the only thing that's in this room.
From what you see first walking in, yes.
He'll go over and start to investigate the desk, see if he can't find anything in the drawers, if he can't pull any of them open.
You get these drawers open, and it's pretty tough as over the years the wood has seemed to expand and shrink and doesn't quite fit right anymore. But you do find there is like a ledger of activity from the mill, quotas they had to hit, employees that they had. But you do find one piece of paper that seems a lot more legible than the rest.
Jonah pulls out this faded piece of paper that somehow still has text on it compared to the rest of everything else that's really in here. He opens it up, and it reads, August 1st, 1860. Phil C. caught his arm in the saw and needed to be taken to Willington. Have to shut down mill for a day or two now. August 21st, 1860. We hit quota. We will need to expand soon. September 14th, 1860. Someone reported finding tunnels near the lake while cutting trees. We'll need to report it and get it sealed up as soon as possible. October 7th, 1860. Hill and Collins refuse to leave their farmhouse. Request permission to forcibly remove them from their residence so expansion can continue.
So this is from 1860.
And the mass disappearance of townsfolk happens in 1860.
In 1860?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Authorities have been sent to investigate the town of Cedar Falls numerous times, starting with the mass disappearance of the townsfolk in 1860s. Yeah. So
this last one is from October 7th, 1860.
Request to forcibly remove them from their residence so expansion can continue. Well, they never expanded, so it doesn't seem like they were able to remove them.
yeah, we definitely need to check out that old farmhouse. I found this, Archibald. It says stuff about the Jane Collins and Mary Hill that we found out about in the library. You can take a look at it. And while I hand that to him, do I see anything else in this room?
Why don't you give me a spot hidden?
Okay. 24, and I have to beat a 25.
As you hand over the note to Archibald and start to look around, you peek behind the door that is lodged open, and you see a frozen body, his face mostly decayed, but stuck in rigor mortis at a scream as he holds a gun in his hand. And you also see that there is a piece of folded paper stuck in his breast pocket.
I feel like that would have scared the shit out of Jonah.
Okay.
I'm making a sanity roll.
Okay.
I'm rolling so well today. 25. I had to beat a 44.
Your heart skips a beat as you look at this frozen body, but you keep your composure.
So you said he had a gun in his hand?
He has a gun in his hand, and he has a piece of folded paper in his breast pocket.
Was his finger was like on the trigger, like,
Yeah.
obviously he was like trying to defend himself from something.
You can't quite tell if he was defending himself or if he was planning to use it on himself.
You said his face was like frozen in fear or something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
But he has a face.
Yes.
But he does have a face.
How long has this guy been here?
It's really difficult to tell just how long this person has been dead.
Okay. Jonah would probably chalk that up to the cold.
How much do you know about firearms?
Would that be like a firearm stat, or?
I think it'd be like a no roll. I think a no roll is just like an edgy roll.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I have a 70 in education.
So why don't you give me an edgy roll to see if you can figure out how old this gun is?
Dude, I don't. These dice are such good luck today. 11.
This gun seems old. It seems like probably a mid-19th century weapon.
Dang, that's whack.
Hmm.
Okie dokie. All right.
So obviously he was fighting in the Civil War.
He does not have Civil War uniform on. He looks a little more recent than Civil War.
He has a large black top hat and a beard. But I can't
He
quite
looks
place
pretty honest.
who...
Wait, say that again?
You're looking honest, Abe.
Didn't you say he has a piece of paper on him,
Yeah,
too?
Archibald's gonna be looking at that for sure.
Why don't you give me just like an intelligence roll as you're getting this piece of paper?
Me thinking about how to grab a piece of paper.
Two separate events. It's just as you're getting the paper.
Yeah. Okay, I succeed.
You notice that, yes, he seems frozen, but it doesn't seem like it's necessarily from freezing temperatures outside, and that it's his physical body that's frozen, not any of his clothing or the weapon or the paper.
Oh.
Ooh, that's sick. That's cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, as I go to get the piece of paper, I tell Jonah, this is kind of strange. It looks like he's frozen here, but like his clothes seem fine. The letter it's not hardened or stiffened or anything. It just seems like his body.
We'll go over and like kind of like mess with his clothes and like double check and just confirm for himself that he's seeing what he is saying.
True to Archibald's word, his clothes are not frozen like you'd expect them to be, like his body is. They are, a little rigid, a little cold from time and temperature, but they're not frozen solid like this man is.
How is this even possible?
I have no idea.
Never seen anything like this. I thought it like he was frozen because it's cold outside, but that's makes no sense.
I do have this letter here. It's a bit interesting. I can read it aloud. It says, "This is most certainly the end. Almost everyone else has thrown themselves into that goddamn lake. I wish I would have had that unfortunate curse placed upon me as well. Living in fear of those witches has driven me to madness, if you can even call it living. I hope that someday those witches and their bastard son leave this town so others may populate it with good, pure soul Christian men and women. Perhaps then they shall find this note and my body and understand the things that once happened here. As I sit here, surely dying, I, Powell Finch, use my dying wish to curse the black souls of Mary Hill, Jane Collins, and Wesley Collins. May they meet the same damned fate as the rest of this town. If you are reading this, spit at the name of Hill and Collins. They are evil, evil, I tell you. The townsfolk here did not deserve their fate, but I know that those evil ones deserve theirs. Farewell." Well, this is new. We didn't know about the son, did we?
No.
No.
If they had a son, then, obviously he's younger. Maybe he's alive. Maybe he's just chilling in town. Interesting. You said that there's another floor to this, to this room. Is there are there stairs or something to access that, or can I do I have to climb on the desk and try to?
So yeah, you could climb on the desk and try to go up through there. You have not necessarily going around the entire main floor to see if there's a way up, but if you're just ready to go up there right now, by all means use that desk. That's cool.
I mean, I see there's a plank with the light coming through. I'm trying to go up through there. Is there a hole in the ceiling that I could fit through, or is it I just noticed that?
Yeah, it's definitely you could squeeze yourself through it.
Then I think I try to get on the desk or move it to under where that hole is and try to climb up through there.
You start pushing this desk basically right underneath the hole. Why don't you give me a dex check to try and pull yourself up through the hole without getting stuck? Adam, while they are in the office, what are you doing right now?
Adam has the good luck charm in his hand, holding it tightly. This memory unlocking sends a shiver down his spine. He's going to put it away, it obviously being of no help calming him down. He'll stand up and kind of just walk around this first floor, pace around, see if there is a way up to the second floor.
Archibald, what did you get for your dex check?
I actually failed my dex check.
So you get yourself on top of the desk and jump up, getting your arms over the plank, and start pulling yourself up, and you get stuck halfway through it. Your torso is on the second floor while your legs are dangling out onto the first floor.
Hey, Jonah, are you still there?
Yeah, and I'll try and push him up a little more.
Okay, yeah. Why don't you give me a strength check?
Appreciate it, buddy.
Oh, I just barely passed that one. 57. I had to meet a 60.
Archibald, you feel Jonah pushing up on your feet, and it kind of hurts at first as the wood digs into your stomach. You're pushed up, and you land on the second platform on your stomach. Adam, as you're pacing around and looking for a way up, all of a sudden, one of the planks of wood beneath you that's rotted breaks, splinters under your feet, and you fall down about half a foot, basically up to your knees now. And as you look down, you see that there is a pit that you're standing in filled with these rats. And you can tell that their eyes are this deep purple that sort of glints in the afternoon gray sun. Most of them have 6 legs and some of them have 2 heads. And as you fall into their essentially a nest, they emit this ear-splitting squeal and try to claw their way out and up your leg.
I pat myself all the way down and jump out of this pit.
Why don't you give me a dex check really quick? And it'll be an opposed dex check. You need to get at least a regular success.
I'm not going to. Yeah, fail.
Some of these rats stay in your pant legs, and they are going to try and bite you. They got a regular success to bite you. This small grouping of rats crawling around in your pant leg, you feel one of them sink their teeth into you, and it does 1 point of damage. And you feel like this burning sensation in your leg. You feel that they've emitted some sort of poison into you. Can you give me a constitution roll? You need to get an extreme success to reduce the amount of damage that's coming in.
I got a normal success.
So you're going to take the full amount of poison damage, which is 4. As this rat sinks its teeth into you, you take 1 damage from its bite, and then you feel this strange burning sensation filling your leg, in your veins, and you take 4 damage from its poisonous bite. But you are successfully out of the pit and onto the ground once more, and you see that these rats are scurrying about.
I'm yelling at this point.
Archibald, you on the second floor, you hear it a little more muffled, but Jonah, you hear Adam begin to yell from out on the main floor.
Shit, Archibald.
What?
Adam needs our help. He's screaming.
Oh, God.
Sounds like he's in pain. I'm gonna check on him real quick.
Okay.
And I'm gonna run outside and see what's up.
Jonah, you run onto the main floor, and you see a bunch of nasty rats running around away from Adam, who is sort of on the ground, grabbing at his leg where he just was bit.
What the hell, Adam? Where'd the rats come from? You alright?
Where'd the fucking rats come from? What the fuck does it look like? I fucking fell into this damn pit, and oh my fucking, they bit me.
Shit. Let me take a look.
I lift up like my pant leg.
There is a set of teeth marks in there and some sort of thick green ooze that is pulsating out through the wounds.
Oh.
Ew.
It's almost like jelly consistency, and it's like lime green.
No. No.
Can I first aid this by taking like my thumbs and trying to press
Like a
the
little bit?
ooze out of my
Oh,
wound?
that's so gross. Yeah, that's disgusting. Do that. As Adam is pushing this thick, jelly-like poison out of his veins, Archibald, you on the second floor hear something. It sounds almost like worn, wet leather rubbing against itself. And it's coming from above you.
Archibald kind of tenses up. He looks up at it and also kind of like backs a bit away from it, but very slowly because it's very dark. But he's kind of like looking up and backing up a little bit.
As you take very soft steps back, but begin to crane your head upwards, you look and see where the sound is coming from and find yourself face to face with a deathly pale creature that has no eyes and a gaping mouth full of sharp teeth. The large creature descends, roughly the size of a large adult man. Its thin yet apparently strong body falls towards you as it stretches out a set of wings. Its elongated neck stretches forwards, shoving its bald, putrid face closer to you, attempting to grab into your neck. I'm going to have you give me a sanity check as you look at this creature.
Yep, for sure. No. I am not sane.
And I'm going to have you lose a d6 of sanity.
I lost 2.
Luckily, you are able to keep somewhat of your composure, and you start to back away from this creature. Can we do an opposed dexterity score as it tries to lunge at you and knock you down?
I got a hard success.
Okay, you dodge out of the way, and you watch as this giant humanoid bat-like creature flops onto the planked wood of the second story, and a dull thump echoes along the first floor. It turns its long neck and faces its bald, blank face towards you and lets out a horrifying, ear-splitting screech, and you see that somehow this razor-sharp maw that it has begins to spin almost like a blender.
So we hear that.
You hear that.
Okay.
Guys, come here, help!
So it is got a 65 for its dex. What is your dexterity score?
60.
Okay, so it's going to go first, and it's going to be at least one round before Jonah and Adam are able to get to you. But before the fight actually begins, Jonah and Adam, you guys hear this commotion coming from above you and Archibald screaming for help.
I run to get up there.
Did we ever find the stairs?
Jonah did not see it because he ran straight to you when you were yelling for help. But Adam, as you were looking around, you saw that on the far right side of the first floor is a staircase that leads up to the second floor.
Come on, Jonah, get your gun.
I got it, and I'll grab your arm and pull you up, and we'll both take off upstairs.
You both race up the stairs, and when you get to the top, you see that a pile of wreckage is blocking your way safely through. Broken beams and shattered pieces of wood. It almost seems like desks were maybe once barricading this area. If you want to get through, you're going to have to move this out of the way, or you're going to have to crawl through it.
Can Adam fucking, Spider-Man under the rubble this shit?
Go underneath it and, throw it out of the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Adam, you're able to, get your body underneath it. Can you give me a hard strength roll to try and lift it up and out of the way?
Pass, yeah.
Jonah, you watch as Adam almost slides underneath it and gets his whole body underneath, starts to lift, putting the wreckage on his shoulders, begins to lift it up, then uses the palms of his hands to lift it up, push it out of the way. And Archibald, the clinger is going to try and attack you. It got a extreme success to hit you. Would you like to try and fight back or dodge or do nothing?
I try to dive out of the way. I try to dodge.
Yeah. Why don't you give me a dex roll then?
I failed.
So you watch as this creature's blender-like maw starts to twist around, ready to thrash and grind your skin, but it flies over you and you feel its tail hit into your neck. And you feel these small tendrils from its back tail start to almost tickle the back of your neck.
Ew.
And then it stabs into it. Much like the tendril of the eye did before into your neck, you feel these nerve-like tendrils from the back of this creature's tail stab into your neck and start to crawl across your spine. Archibald, you are disoriented and immobilized, which means you're going to have a penalty die, so disadvantage, on all of your rolls for the next 2 rounds.
Okay.
So you'll have a penalty die for 2 rounds, and you cannot move for 2 rounds. And then at the end of that, you are able to try and get this thing off of you. And just for a visual thing, so it's nervy tendrils are in your neck and around your spine, and the rest of the body is almost flopped forward, and its wings wrapped around you like it's hugging you, like it's not going to let you go.
I want you to know that when you described that, I actually got chills down my spine.
I pull out the knife and I just try to not even where it's attached to my neck, but just the wings in front of me, wherever, because my arm's kind of tied down, but as much as I can use my knife.
So you pull out this knife and you're going to try and stab it in this wing that is wrapped around you. Give me a fighting brawl with disadvantage. And this thing is going to do the fight back instead of, because it can't dodge, it's literally in you.
I fail with the disadvantage.
This also failed. So you go to stab into it and you are not quite able to get your knife into the thick, leathery wings of this thing that has immobilized you. Adam, you finally get all this debris out of the way. You do one last hoist up and you throw the debris and it goes down the stairs right past Jonah. And the two of you see this huge humanoid-sized bat-like creature attached to Archibald. It's got its tail stuck into his neck, and then the rest of it has wrapped itself almost like a koala on a tree, but it's wrapped itself around Archibald's body, and he looks like he cannot move, and he does not know what is happening.
Jonah is shocked by this. Just for my clarification, now that Jonah's here, I'll ask this. From what Clyde described a couple episodes ago, is this creature pretty much identical to what this is?
It is the creature.
Seeing that Archibald is connected to this thing and is wrapped around it, Jonah is going to try something a little different. And he's going to quickly pull out his journal and hold his journal out in front of him and cast Spectral Hangman at this creature.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
That was a twist and a half.
Okay.
I legit thought you were just gonna, like, draw a picture or something.
I was like, okay, yeah, that kind of is not a good idea.
Let me take a picture.
This is your first time casting a spell, Jonah. You're going to lose, for now, 8 magic points, and you're going to lose a d6 plus 2 of your sanity.
So I roll a 3, so 5.
Jonah extends his hand forward, and you see as this ethereal noose of blue, shimmering, otherworldly energy loops around this creature's neck, tightening, and you see it digging into its leathery skin, and you hear this horrible, wet, ragged gasping for breath. Jonah, why don't you roll me a d4 and tell me how many rounds this noose is going to stay on the creature?
For 2 rounds.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me a d4 and see how much damage it does as it first wraps around the creature's neck and starts to strangle it.
4 damage. And you see Jonah, he sees it start to cinch around his neck, and he just starts pulling back on this blue ethereal line. And he grabs it with the other hand and starts pulling back.
Adam sees this happen, and he does a double take, and is just, like, quietly, "Oh no, Jonah," and then sees Archibald in need, brushes it off, and just goes for this thing, like, hammer fist down on this thing's head.
Hell yeah.
It is going to just try and bite you back since it cannot move to dodge. 31, which is a regular success.
I rolled a 5.
Nice.
Which is an extreme success.
You go to punch this thing, and it tries to lift its head up to get your hand stuck in its rotating maw, but it reaches its head up at the last second and instead meets you halfway to get punched.
So when you get an extreme success on an attack, you just do max damage, right?
So it's going to do max damage plus the maximum damage bonus.
So it is going to take 8 damage.
Your hand with this brass knuckle starts to sink a little bit into its leathery flesh. You feel it give way and hit something else hard, and it starts to spurt out this deep purple, almost black blood that immediately starts running down your hands and dripping onto the floor, down the back of Archibald's legs. Jonah, it is now your turn again.
So do you need me to roll another d4 to see how much damage it takes?
Yep.
Okay. 2 damage.
So you tighten this noose, and you watch as the blue noose starts to tighten even more, actually digging into this creature's flesh, start to bruise a little bit and draw blood that you think at first is going to, like, just seep through the noose, but then it starts to wrap around it, almost like for a moment this noose actually has some sort of tangible quality to it.
Damn. You see as it's tightening, like, Jonah is pulling this rope, and then he, like, wraps one end of it around his elbow to get more leverage on it, and he just keeps hugging on it.
Yeah.
You, like, pull it a little bit by its neck, and with it being attached into Archibald, it sort of drags the creature and then Archibald half a foot across the ground, and you hear just soft, spongy wood make disgusting squelching sounds as it's retained all of the water and snow from the last couple of days, and it just drags both of these people across the ground. And now it is going to try and, at the beginning of its turn, get unattached from your noose.
Not realize Jonah was this strong. Literally pulling 2 people across the floor.
Yeah, Jonah went crazy mode. It is going to make a strength check against your power. So we're doing an opposed roll. It got a 26, which is a hard success for its strength check.
I rolled a 31, and 35 is my hard success.
So you watch it, like, tries to, like, wiggle its neck, try to get it off, can't do it, and just slams its head against Archibald's leg and just start grinding it with its mouth.
God. Ugh.
I got a 13, which is a hard success.
I could try. All right. Well, my first roll was an 80, so yeah, that's an 80.
You try to scoot your leg out of the way, but its large rotating maw sinks into your flesh and starts to grind up the back of your leg, digging into the meat and spraying blood like someone stuck in a chainsaw. For Adam and Jonah, you see as just like an immense amount of blood starts spraying around the circumference of this thing's mouth, across its face, onto the ground. And you are going to take 4 damage as this thing grinds into the back of your leg, getting deeper and deeper closer to the bone, drawing out more and more blood.
I think I'm gonna try again to use my knife to cut the wing. Oh my gosh, I'm rolling horribly.
It got a 96 to try and fight back, so it failed.
Well, I also failed I rolled a fighting brawl.
So you once again try to stab into it, but the pain from your leg is too immense. You feel your own flesh being ripped and torn apart, like caught in some sort of mechanical device, and so much blood is pouring down your leg. You can't even concentrate to try and stab it. It is now the end of the second round of your mobilization, which means that this creature and you are going to make an opposed power roll to see if it is going to remain inside of you or if it is going to release. Got an 11, which is extreme success on its power.
Dude, I failed my power roll. I got a 61. I've rolled like above 50 every single roll.
Dude, we swapped. I don't know what happened.
We swapped.
Archibald, right after you try to stab into it and the pain is too much, everything goes black and you have no control over your body now. You feel like someone else is remotely piloting your body and you just have to sit and watch what happens.
This is literally my worst fear. Like,
now being in control of your own body?
yes. Yeah.
Is there any way I can separate them?
Yes, you can try and pull this thing out of him.
I'm gonna do that.
You're going to need to do a hard strength roll.
I got a 51. I failed.
You start to get it out and you see these wiry, nervy tendrils start to come out of Archibald's neck a little bit, but the power of this creature is too much. It throws its tail closer to Archibald's neck, seeking these tendrils deeper, and you are unable to get them free.
Is the spell still up for one more round?
Yes, this is the last round that is up.
Then I am going to just keep using it. 2 more damage.
This thing gets tighter and tighter. You see that the mouth that has been digging into the leg of Archibald seems to almost like protrude from its mouth a little bit, like everything in its head is getting pushed towards its skull, pushed against the flesh as it's beginning to die of suffocation. So now it's going to do another strength check against your POW to try and break itself free.
I rolled a 31 again.
I got a 13, which is an extreme success, just one below the extreme success for strength.
Okay, I got a hard success.
Did you say you rolled a 13?
Yeah, dude, I need to get rid of these Witcher dice. Like, I need to, like, Jumanji, bury them in the woods somewhere. Like, nobody should have this kind of power. You watch as it rises into the air, almost to the top of the roof of the lumber mill. Archibald's body is just flopping around as it flies, and then Archibald begins to raise its knife like he's going to throw it at you.
Jonah's eyes, while he was casting the spell, were like rolled up into his head, and as it dispels, he like comes back to. Archibald, what are you doing?
So you are going to use your throw skill to try and hit Jonah with it.
Sucks for you. I don't even know where that is. But also, I've been rolling 80s all game, and it's not stopping here. So I fail my throw.
You throw the knife, and it does not reach Jonah, but it stabs into the ground. You can see everything that's happening, but you know that you have no control over your body right now until this thing perishes.
I am going to grab the knife that he threw and throw it. No.
You attempt to throw it, and it bounces off a beam and lands in a snow pile.
Jonah is gonna whip his gun out and point it at the creature and take a shot.
This could make the difference.
No. The one roll where it actually matters, I didn't get shit. I rolled an 88.
Roll me a luck check.
I rolled an 88 again!
It hits Archibald. It just barely grazes your leg, Archibald. But even though you are sort of in the recesses of your mind, you feel the wound. And now your left leg is even bloodier. It is now the creature's turn. It is going to try and make Archibald shoot at Jonah. Archibald, you feel as your hand reaches to grab your gun and start to aim at Jonah. Will you give me your firearm attack?
I'm gonna dodge.
I fail.
I have to roll a 25 to have a normal success. I rolled a 26.
The bullet whizzes right past you and lodges itself in a pile of debris, sending splinters of wood all over the place.
Is there any, like, long piece of wood left over that I could just, like, hoist up and try to slap this thing out of the air?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would definitely say that there's something like that there.
Oh, hell yeah. I got a 19, which is a hard success.
It's going to roll to dodge. It got a failure. Okay.
Oh, thank God.
So, a large club, like a baseball bat, cricket bat, or poker, it does a D8 plus your damage bonus.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty good.
4 damage.
You smack it like a baseball midair, and it flies through the air, smacking its head against a beam, immediately cracking it, turning it 90 degrees, and it falls limp to the ground.
Holy shit.
Archibald, you feel a tingling sensation throughout your entire body as you find yourself on the ground, able to move your body again. It is excruciatingly painful to try and move, and you feel as this thing retracts its nervy tendrils out of your body. You feel every inch of it untangle from your spine and your nerves and crawl back out through your body. One last punishment before it dies.
I'm gonna rush over to Archibald and speed up that process, just like ripping this thing away from him and like just generally like checking him to make sure he's alive.
Tendrils come out faster and faster, and you watch as they retract into this small hole in the tip of the tail of this creature.
I'm coming to, and it's very, very painful. I can't like say a word, but I'm kind of like looking around frantically, and my vision's blurry, but it kind of focuses on my leg, and I look at it, and I just like I think I throw up.
You see that there is a huge missing area of the back of your leg, and it is just still oozing blood, mixing with the deep purple-black blood of this creature and pooling underneath you, staining the pure white snow that rests on the second level of this mill.
And I'll try to like tear some cloth and wrap up his leg.
Why don't you give me a first aid check?
Let's see, 33. My first aid is 36, so it's a pass.
Archibald, you gain 1 hit point back, and Adam, you successfully wrap this cloth strip around the back of his leg, keeping it from seeping blood all over the place, but you see pretty quickly the blood is starting to stain the cloth.
I'll like put my hands on his shoulders after he's done throwing up, and I'll just say, Archibald, are you all right, man? What the hell was that thing?
Pain.
Does his wounds look like we should like get him to a doctor or something?
Surprisingly, no. When you were wrapping it up, you saw that there was kind of this wet, filmy substance over it, almost like it was keeping his leg from deteriorating very much after it like ate into it. You kind of get this feeling that it took control over his body and then almost like wanted to preserve it. So obviously it was biting into him when he wasn't in control of the body. And then when this creature took control of Archibald's body, it was like, okay, let me put this protective film over it so he doesn't die while I'm trying to use the body.
Oh, okay. Seeing that he's okay for the most part. I'm gonna turn my head to look at Jonah and just throw eyes at him. I did not like what I saw.
Adam. Oh, Adam, would you mind? Did you give me a plank of wood or a stick or something? I just, this leg, I don't want to put too much pressure on it walking. I need some sort of crutch.
Yeah, let me find something, and I'll go grab a stick or anything.
Yeah, you're easily able to find some planks of wood to use to help him. There was plenty in that pile that you would kind of tossed aside.
Archibald, why don't you hold on to me too, at least until we get outside.
All right, thank you.
While they're doing that, I would like to take a picture of the creature.
Yeah, please do. Why don't you give me a photography roll?
I rolled a 1!
It is the most crystal clear, perfect picture. You can see every detail about this creature.
This is literally the picture they took of the black hole.
Dude, actually.
Yeah.
Every detail is immaculate for the 1920s. It's
For a 1920s picture, it's crazy good.
It's a 4K. It is 4K pixels. He invented pixels in this picture.
I walk Archibald outside. Archibald, you feeling up to still going to this farmhouse?
We've come so far, and I don't imagine I'm any safer if I leave on my own, and I couldn't ask you guys to come with me either. God damn it. Let's just get this thing over with.
From now on, we all need to stick together.
I should never have gone up on my own. It's very foolish of me.
I shouldn't have left you up there by yourself. That's on me.
No, we shouldn't have split up. Adam needed your help, so you went to help him. That's what you needed to do.
Are you feeling okay? You not having any residual effects from it or anything?
It's a strange feeling. I almost don't remember a lot of it. It's like a bad dream. And my neck feels a little weird, and the pain in my leg, it hurts a lot, but I'm dealing with it. And I think I'll be able to move around.
If you need anything, just ask.
You know what? Why don't you take a couple of steps back? I know you casted some spell to save Archibald, but listen, if there's something you're not telling us, you need to tell me right now. How did you do that?
Adam, it just kind of happened when we were in the dream. When I took that hand, I gained something from it, and as much as I don't necessarily agree with anything the One Beyond is saying, and we're really in over our heads, the little bit of utility and assistance that it gave helped here. So honestly, Adam, I don't understand why you'd be questioning me right now. There's no reason not to trust me. We've been through hell together in the last, I don't even know, week, and now you're questioning me here? I just saved Archibald from some bat creature man thing, and this is where we're at.
I take a couple of steps back from both of them. I saw you both take that hand. Archibald, can you do that too?
What do you want me to say, Adam? What do you want me to say?
What do I want you to say? I want you to tell me no. I want you to tell me that I can trust you both.
You don't think you can trust us? You don't think you can trust us? I'm standing here, my leg half off, and Jonah. If it weren't for Jonah, I'd be dead. You don't think you can trust us? When you were having a hard time trying to search around here, we said that it'd be fine for you to take a break, and we would go on, and we would look around. And you know what happened when we did? That thing attached itself to me, and I couldn't even tell you what it was like in there. And you're saying you can't trust us? Adam, if we can't trust each other, then we're not gonna get through this thing at all.
It's been a lot today. It's been a lot. I mean, it's not even half over, and this has been just, it's been too much. I'm sorry. I do trust you. I trust you both. And, you know, I think I've seen these things before when I was a kid. I went missing, and I remember swimming up in Maine, and these two arms reaching out and grabbing me and pulling me under. And they're the same. They're the same arms as what happened to our loved ones in the dream and Loretta. And I just don't want that to happen to anybody else I care about. I apologize. You're right. We won't get through this if we don't trust each other, and I do trust you both. So, if you'll forgive me, we can move on from this. And I promise you, I will never doubt you again.
Jonah will walk up and put his hand on your shoulder. I forgive you, Adam. I understand the fear and the confusion, and we're all overwhelmed. Frankly, I don't understand. I don't totally understand what just happened to me and what I've been given. I'm not sure I trust it, but you can trust in the fact that I will use it only for our mutual benefit. I will use it to protect us and our loved ones. If for a second think that I am not me any longer, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I forgive you, Adam.
Thank you, Jonah.
I'm sorry for bursting out like that, Adam. I know you trust us, and I trust you both too. I'm glad that the three of us are here together. I don't know who else I'd be able to do this with. So thank you both for being here.
Let's go check out this farmhouse.
The farmhouse seems to be in a little better condition than the lumber mill, but not by much. The two-story farmhouse has lost any personality it may have once had, and has been reduced to a plain, brown, tattered building. All of the windows are broken, either completely missing their glass panes or just completely shattered. The roof looks on the brink of collapse, and the chimney has completely crumbled. Loose bricks lay precariously on the edge of the roof. The wood plank siding is slightly warped outwards, making it appear as though the building has taken an inflating breath, then held it. The only thing in nearly perfect condition is the front door, which stands directly in front of you. The doorknob shines slightly in the early evening sunset, as if tempting you to turn it and see what's inside.
Adam is probably going to take the lead on this. I will give in and open the door.
Warped floorboards and a half-collapsed staircase greet you as you enter through the front door. To your immediate left is some sort of living or sitting room. In front of you is a walkway to what appears to be a kitchen, and a staircase hugs the right wall and leads to a second floor.
I think Archibald's gonna head towards the sitting room.
I'll head towards the kitchen then.
I'm gonna just kind of like float in between both of them.
So we'll start with Archibald as you go into the living and sitting room. You see it's in rough shape. The old wooden furniture is strewn about, broken or partially decayed. Pictures and shattered frames lean against the wall. They show two women and a young boy, and are dated with years ranging from 1852 to 1860. Simple bookshelves, surprisingly not completely destroyed, hold old books, some of which are beyond repair, while others seem somewhat legible.
Archibald heads over to the bookshelves and Just taking like a cursory glance at like the spines of the books, trying to see what stands out to him.
I'll go ahead and let you know that kind of stuff. Why don't you also give me a spot hidden check while you are searching through this? So you see a lot of them have to do with different flora and fauna of the area. Some of them are just kind of like cookbooks, but you do see some of them seem to be self-written or not like officially published books that have to do with folk magic.
I failed my spot hidden, by the way. But I definitely want to look more into these like custom books about the folk magic.
As you flip through them, you see a lot of handwritten things. A lot of it seems to be about like supposed healing spells and centering your soul and things like that. And as you flip through, 2 pieces of paper fall out, like they weren't actually bound to the rest of the book.
I would like to take a closer look at the photos.
Archibald, as you were looking through these, Adam, you see that, I'll just go ahead and like kind of reiterate what they are. Probably about a half dozen pictures in shattered frames that lean against the bottom of the wall. You see that there are 2 women and a young boy, and they range from the years 1852 to 1860.
Looking at the like latest photo, is there anything like off about it, or just about any of them in general?
They kind of almost seem to be what you can almost imagine as like yearly photos. They all seem to be basically outside somewhere of the farmhouse. In the 1860 photo, you can see, since the lumber mill is so close to the farmhouse, that the lumber mill does not seem inhabited. Obviously, the picture was taken during the day, so there's, natural lighting and whatnot, but there is nobody like outside the mill like it would have been taken like during the middle of like a work day.
Can I tell what season it is in the photo?
It appears to be fall.
Fall.
Jonah, as you walk into the kitchen, you see that there are these tattered, moth-eaten curtains that hang on either side of broken windows, and they flutter as a cold, snow-filled breeze wafts through the kitchen. You see a simple wooden table sits in the middle of the room, and upon it are dusty dishes and rusted cooking utensils. And you notice that a slip of paper is wedged between plates as it rustles in the breeze.
Jonah pulls out this slip of paper. My love, Jane. I have convened with him and been given insight. Blessed be the one. Per your inquiry, here is the recipe. 1. Rose petals, 1 teaspoon. 2. Common wormwood, 1 tablespoon. 3. Lemongrass, 2 tablespoons. 4. Thyme, 1 tablespoon. 5. 9 drops of blood from a self-inflicted wound. 6. The fermented brain of a clinger. And 7. A clean crystal, no more than 6 inches. Process. Crush the rose petals, common wormwood, lemongrass, and thyme in mortar. Boil together with fermented brain until liquid becomes thick. Add the 9 drops of blood and bring to a boil once more, then cool. Place clear crystal in glass, such as a drinking glass. Pour mixture into glass, covering crystal. Let sit overnight while the moon is bright, then consume. Prior to drinking, inscribe the usual symbol onto the floor with chalk. Sit in the center and recite the following. Would the language at the bottom be recognizable or like similar to the writings that are on the symbol that we saw in the Preston house?
It would be the exact same.
Okay, making potions.
I feel like I should point out at this time the 2 papers that fell out of the book. It is also that same language. It's like, I'm not going to try to say them, but it's in the same language. One of them also has Wesley in it. He's like part of the text there. And then the other one says, summon the clinger, and then has like what I'm assuming is a spell in that language.
Ooh.
Archibald, as you flip the one paper over that says summon clinger, you do see a sketched symbol on the back, and it looks like this. For our audience, it is essentially a wide letter V with a line straight down the middle, and then there is a line that goes over top of it, and it dips down in the middle, then goes back up, and then straight. Almost like a heart monitor, symbol.
This symbol is similar to the eye that we saw on Loretta.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe the arms. I think this eye symbol is what summons the arms, if I had to guess.
Theory, maybe they represent like the different monsters. Like you have an eye, so it is an eye. And then this is on the back of a clinger. Maybe that symbol represents a clinger.
I'll wander into the room that Jonah's in. Jonah, you've shown us this paper that has the recipe on it.
Yeah, I would have shown it to you guys.
Can I look through the cupboards to see if they have these ingredients on hand?
Why don't you do a natural world?
No. 90.
There are a lot of small vials that have things in them, but none of them seem to necessarily be labeled, and so you're not able to necessarily tell what is what by looking at the actual ingredients inside.
We'll regroup. Y'all ready to head upstairs?
Yeah, if you guys are done down here, I think that's for the best.
Yeah. Lead the way.
You walk back into the main entry and go up the half-dilapidated stairs, trying not to step on loose floorboards or holes that have been worn over time. When you get to the top of the stairs, you get to a landing, and you see that there is a room to your right with the door closed and a room down to the left with the door closed. There are only 2 rooms upstairs.
I'll just take the door closest to me.
You open it up, and it is a large bedroom, which you can assume is the master bedroom. And this bedroom seems surprisingly well preserved. Like every other room, though, the windows are broken, and there are small piles of snow that have accumulated throughout the space. A large bed sits in the center of the far wall from you. It's made, but seems as though it's been untouched for some time. Bookshelves line a wall, small boxes and chests are scattered throughout the room. Upon the floor are lots of scraps of paper that all have the same symbol on them. The symbol of the offspring that you've seen plenty of times now. There's a strange energy that lingers in the room. You can't tell exactly what it is, but it feels powerful. It's almost electrifying, and you see that the hairs on your neck and arms are standing up straight. A strong gust of wind blows, further covering the floor in snow and chilling the room even more. The scattered papers on the floor rustle and scatter. Loose hinges and locks on the boxes and chests in the room creak. The room feels almost alive. Why don't you all give me a spot hidden? And I'll just tell you, Archibald, since you had been sort of, investigating that bookshelf downstairs, you see a lot of similar books. Stuff about plants and animals, and some books that seem to be kind of self-written or written by other people that aren't necessarily published, all kind of covering the same sort of folk magic thing.
31 on my spot hidden. And I have to get a 25, so I failed.
I got a 24, which is a hard success on my spot hidden.
I got a 61 and I failed.
As you guys are searching around, you all uncover these small chests that hold lots of different notes and letters, and a lot of them seem to be faded over time, but a couple of them seem to still have legible words on them. Adam, you find something underneath the bed. As you are looking around, you catch sight of something under the bed, and you kneel down and pull out this long object covered in dark black fabric. And as you remove that black fabric, you see that it is a very ornate scrying mirror.
As soon as I see the edge of it being a scrying mirror, I'm gonna just quickly rewrap it in the black cloth.
So I'll let you guys all take a minute to read. They are sort of long for our listening audience. You'll get to hear 9 lovely notes read. Bear with us. It's basically lore dump time. So I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed writing them.
Thursday, July 5th, 1838. Dear Miss Jane Collins, greetings. My name is Mary Hill. I'm a resident of Willington, just a short while away from your residence. Lately, I have been having terrible nightmares about the end of the world. This sounds strange, I'm sure, and I apologize if I am wasting your time. You see, these nightmares have persisted for over a year now, and with increasing realism, I fear I am losing my mind. Some of my coworkers have told me that you are a practitioner of folk magic and have discreetly come to you for aid in the past. If there's anything you can recommend, I would be ever so grateful. Ever grateful, Mary Hill.
It's funny that we talked about how our characters first met our significant others, and then now we're reading this letter about how Mary Hill met Jane Collins.
That's nuts. Second note is dated October 20th, 1839. Miss Mary Hill, I am so very sorry to hear that between the combination of the charm and hex sign, you are still experiencing these horrific nightmares. I understand that you work to help support your mother and do not lightly request that you cease this commitment. However, if these nightmares are interfering with your life to the point of madness, I do believe that I would be able to keep you safe at my farmhouse. Do not feel that you must answer right away, but I will keep my offer up for some time. I am very concerned with what is going on with you and am determined to get to the bottom of it. Best, Jane Collins. And then the third and final letter in this box is dated January 2nd, 1842. I understand that it has been deemed unnatural by many, if not all, of my former peers. I think that is what frightens me the most. Not that I feel this way, but that others would condemn me for it. I've spent over 2 years with Jane now, and I honestly cannot think of another time in my life that I was happier or more filled with love. I am terrified to tell her that I feel this way. What if she does not express the same feelings, and I am forced to go back to Wilmington without protection from the nightmares? I cannot stand to think of it. And then there's another portion of the letter that's dated January 5th, 1842, so 3 days later. I simply cannot stand it any longer. If I do not tell Jane how I feel, I fear I will simply perish. I will tell her of my love for her, and I will take the result with my head held high and no matter what.
I got some letters here.
Let's hear 'em.
The first one is March 5th, 1843. Tonight, Mary dreamt of an angel coming to earth and hovering over our farm, telling her that her prayers will be answered and she will be saved. Normally, I wouldn't think too much of this. However, I was awoken by a strange, towering green light that illuminated our home. When we ventured out to find the source, it seemed to be coming from the forest rather than above the farmhouse. We went into the woods and found that the lake was frothing, and it emitted a green hue from which the source was not obvious. I'm beginning to think that the things Mary has been talking and dreaming about are real. And then the next letter, September 15th, 1852. So 9 years later. The woman has died. We did everything in our power to revive her, but it was futile. She has left behind a child, born just yesterday. Jane and I will venture to town to have his birth certificate done. It hurts me to know that his mother is gone, and I am reminded of mine own, who surely has passed since my leaving. Jane and I have agreed to take care of the child, Wesley, as was the mother's request. And then, 5 days later, September 20th, 1852, Wesley is doing well for being less than a week old. Unless something severe shall happen, my journaling will be put on hold as we dedicate our focus to him. I hope to look back on this entry later down the line and smile, knowing that our Wesley is happy and well in our care. And then the final letter is 8 years later, on April 16th, 1860. It pains me so dearly to write this. I almost haven't the courage to even sit here and pen this entry. Last night, those bastards who expanded their disgusting mill town around our farmhouse killed Wesley. Time and time again, we declined to leave and take the relocation funds. I told them this was our plot of land, but they refused to listen. Last night, a mob faced our house, calling us witch lovers raising a Satanist child. They know nothing. Nothing. Oh, how their ignorance disgusts me. They ransacked the house. Little Wesley was killed. There were just too many of them against the three of us. To my surprise, and increasing my horror from Wesley's death, Mary placed a hex upon the invaders. Many of them immediately made their way towards the lake, Mary told me that they would throw themselves in it. I know not if they all met that fate. The two of us cried over Wesley's body for some time until I gained the courage to confront Mary about the hex. She informed me that for 16 years now, she has used my mirror to communicate with the angel in the lake. I think it is high time that I start my belief in this one she talks about. Maybe then I can get our Wesley back.
Damn.
Okay, before you start your letters, Matthew, the fact that up to this point, everything has been pointing to these people just being straight fucking evil. It's like, there's been no reason to think these people are, normal. They're fucking witch, cultist people, whatever the hell. And then you give them, like, a legitimate reason as to why they've done something. Like, their fucking child dies. Bro.
Their child was murdered
Yeah.
by this town.
Props to you, man. Holy shit.
I went to school for screenwriting.
It shows.
No, but thank you. It's one of those things of like pacing it out, making you think one thing and then you getting new evidence later. It's a mystery, and I like being able to take our time going through everything and like things being, slowly revealed.
Great, man.
If any of you know anybody at Amazon, HBO, or Netflix that are looking to adapt a booming podcast into an animated TV show, I got a great pitch for you.
I'll make some calls.
I got some buddies at Amazon.
Yeah, you do. You do.
I know quite a few folks over there.
Look, I love Invincible. I've heard nothing but good things about Vox Machina. I'm just saying, we would make a good addition to their animated collection.
I wouldn't be opposed to seeing my face plastered on something.
Adam, what did you find in your box?
A fully intact scrying mirror and 3 letters. The first dated February 29th, 1871. My love, Jane, I have had the most horrifying nightmare since you were away on business. I cannot stand to be away from you, and even more so when the nightmares plague me again. I saw the one, a glorious energy, whose form still boggles my small mind, in combat with that which slumbers in the recesses of our earth. Oh, it was terrifying. I saw the world splinter, and waves of energy overtake every living thing. I used the mirror to tell the one of what I have seen. I have begged and pleaded that we and the other believers be spared should this come to pass. Return to me soon. I am so scared. Ever your love, Mary Hill. The next letter is September 18th, 1873. This evening, with the aid of the mirror, I have seen paradise. Oh, I feel its warmth and grace flow through me still. It tingles like electricity through my whole body. There's a reason why Mary and I met all those years ago. A reason even deeper than our love. Salvation. I have seen a world which survives the destruction of our own. It boggles the mind, but I know it is real and is the culmination of all Mary's prayers spanning decades. We are to travel to the lake this evening to attempt to commune once more and receive our instructions from the One. This is a glorious, glorious day. Praise be to the One. The last one, December 30th, 1874. Tomorrow night, Jane and I shall lead the followers to the lake to call upon the One. We discussed it all this evening and pushed aside all fear, for we know that our fates lie with the One. I think I shall miss this place. We are going to paradise, yes, but there is always that mortal fear of leaving a place behind. I used to be so afraid of this world, but Jane has shown me tremendous love and support for 35 years now and helped me grow past such fear. Should anyone come looking for us with ill intent, a hex has been placed upon both the farmhouse and town. However, if anyone should seek us, looking for answers of the one and the other side, I hope the things we have left throughout the town will give them guidance to follow us. It is the only way to save ourselves and this world. Mary Hill Collins.
When was like the period of time that there were no records?
It was 74 to 77. So this letter of them taking the followers to the lake is the start of there being no records of the town.
Right.
Adam is gonna, after conversing about all of these letters, he'll say, y'all, I don't think we should look into this mirror. I mean, if either of you believe that we might have something to gain from it, based on what I've read, it seems like it's a way to contact the One, and I don't know, I don't believe we need that right now.
I agree. We should surely take it with us. I think it's valuable to take with us.
I really don't know if it could hurt us or not, but I think it's something valuable that we should take with us. We never know what could happen. I mean, the more tools at our disposal, the better right now, I think. Even if it is a connection to the One from beyond.
Hopefully I'm not speaking out of line here, and I mean no disrespect, but both of y'all are already connected to the One, so sort of we might as well just take the mirror with us, is what I mean to say.
If it makes you more comfortable, I am totally okay with you holding on to that. I know we trust each other, but you know, we never know what's gonna happen.
You know what? I think that's a good idea. Why don't I hold on to this and I'll just kind of put it away, still wrapped up. You know, what strikes me as odd, I guess I'll say, is Mary Hill Collins' last letter. She says, I hope the things we have left throughout the town will give them guidance. It's the only way to save ourselves and this world. I guess I just wonder what those things could be.
Things that will guide people to them?
Well, I guess it would be guiding them to the One. What I'm thinking is, we've been told about this sort of end of the world scenario, and if there's something we can find to stop that from happening and stop this cult from doing anything else in this town, then we should try to find it. But maybe that's, I don't know, maybe I'm grasping at straws.
I do think that if there is something else to go after, we should go after any lead that we have. I'm just not sure what that is right now. I mean, I feel that the One from beyond and the Mother and a lot of these characters are all very intertwined. I mean, who's to say that any of them are really different, and I think they're all really the same thing. They're all pointing in the same direction. But I could be wrong.
Yes. This gives us a lot of context for these two women who are very important to what we want to find out, but man, there's still so many answers. I mean, are we entirely sure what happens when you walk into the lake?
You're not suggesting that we do so.
No, of course not. I just don't. It's just another piece of the puzzle that I'm trying to fit with everything else. But if their goals are to reunite with the One, it seems like there's walking towards the lake, but then there's also using these portals and trying to summon. I just don't understand what it's all for. There's so many different pieces, and
something's not adding up.
Definitely. No. They disappear when they go into the lake, and it seems to be, you know, they have asked for assistance from the One. Presumably he or it okays that and they go into the lake to be saved. But then why, in our case, did we have a 9-day dream and they offered similar things?
What I think is, in order to go to paradise, you have to be a follower. And in order to become one, you have this 9-day dream, you accept his offer, and then maybe what happens is they use one of these keys, which one of them is embedded in Henry, to open a portal to this so-called paradise. I am questioning the intentions of the one even more so now, because in the letter I read, Mary had to beg and plead with the one to save them, which she was having these dreams of the apocalypse way before even coming in contact with them, as far as we know, which begs the question, is the world even gonna come to an end? Is this just not some plot to get people to follow the one for whatever reasons that it has?
Unfortunately, we set out here in hopes of finding more answers, but I feel myself left with even more questions than before.
Yes, that certainly seems to be a running theme in dealing with these people.
Kind of out of character here. Mary places the hex and they all go into the lake. She tells Jane then that she's been in contact with the angel in the lake for 16 years, so that puts that at 1844. We don't have a note from 1844, but we have one from 1843, where she first sees the angel. It hovers over their farm, and it tells her that her prayers will be answered and she will be saved. And then Jane doesn't think too much of it, and then she's woken by a strange towering green light that illuminated our home when we ventured out to find the source. It seemed to be coming from the forest rather than above the farmhouse. Yeah, so this thing comes from the lake. And it's not like Mary has dreams of the apocalypse and the angel is able to quote unquote save her, or like your prayers will be answered. So then she asks it later to save them from the apocalypse.
It almost seems to me that the angel in the lake and the one are different.
That's fair.
Because in the...
You think so?
I don't know.
It could be, actually. Yeah.
It could be, but I mean, in this letter, the one where Wesley dies, like, she mentions the angel in the lake, and then the next line she talks about the one. Like, it could be referring to the same thing, but they're separate.
DM, how crazy is that? Are we like super far off? Are we like getting into like straying from the path territory?
No, I think it's the same. I think it's the same, actually. I'm reading it again. I think they're the same thing. Because she uses the mirror to communicate with the angel in the lake, but
yeah,
she also uses the mirror to communicate with the one.
Essentially, it's the angel in the lake until she knows it's called the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because why would it be the one if there's two?
Well, gentlemen, why don't we poke around in the kid's bedroom and then leave?
It is a smaller room appearing to be a child's. There is an old crib in the corner that is filled with some small toys, and there's a larger bed, most likely for a younger child, that sits in the corner. On the bed is a doll, and for some reason it seems horrifyingly unrealistic, and the way it's sitting makes it appear as though it's looking right at you.
Before I get to the doll, can I just do a once-over investigation of the room?
Yeah. So as you look around, there is lots of old clothing in the drawers of a cabinet. You see lots of baby clothes and young child clothes. It seems to really range for quite a few years. You see that there are a couple of books. Some of them are actual published. Some of them are self-written child stories. And you also see that there is a small leather-bound piece of paper that appears to be a birth certificate.
Wesley Hill Collins. September 14th.
It's a good day.
1852.
That's like the worst. That's like the worst day to be born, I think. I don't think anyone.
It's pretty cringe.
Literally. At 3:14 a.m.
Damn, so this kid dies when he's 8.
Whoa.
As you are all observing this birth certificate, you hear a sound come from the bed and come from the doll. And it sounds almost like a little cry at first.
Mom, don't leave me again, Mom. Mom, is that you? I can't see anything. Mommy? Did you come back? I can't see you. I'm scared.
I leave the room.
Adam is going to freeze and as silently as possible turn to Jonah, shake his head, and leave the room.
You guys leave the child's bedroom, and as you begin to descend down the stairs to the main floor, you hear this horribly high-pitched whining sound, like feedback from a radio, come from near the kitchen. You get into the kitchen and you hear it again. It's louder now, and you can definitely tell that it is some sort of radio static. It sounds much like what you heard when you were at the schoolhouse learning how the radio works. And it seems to be coming from below you now. You kind of pinpoint where it comes from, and you see that there is this wooden board that is covering up what appears to be stairs to a cellar.
Let's check this out, guys.
Yes.
The steps into the cellar seem to go on for quite some time. At first, the walls on either side are loose brick, then transition to tightly packed dirt, and finally stone that appears to be much newer and more recently placed. You arrive at the bottom of the staircase and stand on a short landing. Directly in front of you is a set of locked wooden double doors. You hear some sort of mechanical noise come from the other side, and faint blue light streams between the cracks in the door as you hear another wave of feedback and static come from the other side.
Try to break the lock.
Are you wanting to do a locksmith check or like a strength check, or what do you want to do?
Can I just like grab a rock and try to just smash it?
Yeah, sure. You can totally grab one of the loose bricks along the walkway. So why don't you give me a strength check, and it'll just be a normal strength check since you're using sort of that blunt weapon to snap it off.
Hell yeah. I got a 14, which is I'm 2 away from an extreme, but it's a hard success.
You take this loose brick from the wall and you slam it down on the door handle. And the door swings open to reveal a baffling sight. Directly in front of you is the largest, most complicated looking radio you've ever seen, covered with wires and machinery that makes absolutely no sense to you. But the strangest thing is who or what is operating the radio. It turns towards you, its set of robotic spider-like legs clinking and clanging against the stone floor. A dim blue light suddenly flashes on at the top of the legs to reveal a large glass container. It houses a decapitated man's head, his eyes rolled back and face completely rigid, but his brain is burst from the top of the skull and appears to be rigged with a multitude of wires and flashing probes. And you hear from a small speaker on this spider-like body.
Welcome. I was wondering when you would find this place.
Thank you everybody for joining us for Tales of the Other Side, Chapter 8. He's a demon, he's a devil, he's a doll, Part 2. I'm Matthew, I have been the keeper.
I'm Nathan. I play Jonah Thorogood, an investigative journalist, and I came in with questions. I still have more questions. You gotta hate dolls.
I'm Nick, and I have been Archibald Bauer, a professor of anthropology from Boston, and also someone who underwent metamorphosis and came out with a broken, chewed-up leg.
I'm Noah. I play Adam Whitlock, father, husband, and That doll's got me fucked up, man. What the fuck?
Exciting news, I have my first post-grad job, which is awesome, but I now have significantly less time to edit, so we might not be doing 2 episodes a month, might be 1, who knows yet, but Chapter 9, Radiohead, will be coming at you guys later. Thanks so much, we'll see you guys then.